All right, last video on using the quadratic formula, and there's three of these because I wanted to show you three different cases. So this one has only basically one problem on it that we're going to do, and I think you'll kind of get the idea of what we're after here. So I'm looking at this particular problem, and again, I can't factor anything out of it, right? It should be equal zero. Sorry. So let's just march right ahead with the quadratic formula. So we got x equals negative b is positive 11, so plus and minus square root of 11 squared, and then minus 4 times a times c. Well, a is 2, c is 20. All right, and then that all goes over 2a, which is 2 times 2. So let's do a little simplifying. We got negative 11 plus and minus, and then you get 121 is the square of 11, and then 4 times 20 is 80. 80 times 2 is 160, and then that whole thing goes over 4. So at this point, when we go to simplify further, you realize that you have this really weird thing going on under the radical where 121 minus 160 gives you a real number. It gives you negative 39, but you can't take the square root of a negative number. So in a case like this is different from the case where you have one root where this whole thing becomes zero. This doesn't become zero. This thing is basically not defined, right? This is not defined. This does not give you a rational answer. So because of that, all right, because of that, we are going to say that this entire thing has no solution. So whenever you have a case where what you get under here is equal to less than 0, that gives you a case where that's that 0 roots, right? There are no roots for this. Okay, so we've looked at 2 roots, we've looked at 1 root in the last video, and then now this is an example of where you get no roots. And I'm not going to do another example because I think by this point you should be pretty good at figuring out how to plug these things in. Just know that those are the 3 cases you're going to see, and be on the lookout for them.